Colours Australia. I'm going to talk to you today about trying to put some little flowers together that we've done the other day using silicone. We have got some little glass heart shaped and little glass petals that we've made to create these, but I'll also show you how we can make our own petal shapes out of stained glass squares, stained glass petals. So yeah, we'll give them a go. So let's get to it. So let's start making this little gorgeous flower. We're going to get this in already. I've actually used stained glass large petals to make these shapes. So pick one up, cut one in half, and I'm only going to use the one tool, which is the round wheel cutters, to do all my shaping. So I've got my glass petal cut in half. I'm just going to put my cutters on an angle, and I'm just going to soften those points off. Just here, you can just hear it biting. You just want to soften those points off. You can, if you've got a grinder, you can grind them, but as I said, sometimes it's easier just to have a play around with your tool and just get it working like a little bit of a grinder. It's perfect. Same one, take the sharp corners off. So all you need is a tiny little bit just to soften it. I'm also cutting into a plastic container, which just helps keep all the little shards contained, so they're not going to be flying all over the place. Right, so once you've done a couple of those, we can get on to making the flower. But I'll just show you, not everyone has stained glass petals, so if you have stained glass squares, I'll show you how you can make the similar shape. So just by cutting diagonally, keep your wrist nice and straight, you should get a nice clean break. Straight down again. So what we want to do, this is going to become our petal. So all I'm doing is I'm going to take this point off, and I'm going to take a bit of this one here off, so you can sort of see it starting to become a petal shape, and then just a matter of softening off the little points. So make sure you've got your safety glasses on as well, just while you're doing the cutting of these. So that's one there. So they're a little bit smaller than my stained glass petals, but they'll make a nice little tiny flower. So yeah, do a couple of those, and this will be your petals. Same thing again for the leaves. So I'm taking that point off. So it looks like that. And then this point here. And then I just want to shape them, just softening the edges. Right, and that's the sort of shape we want. So once you do a few of those, we'll be able to start our next flower. Okay, let's put this baby together. So I'm going to get a little bit of cling wrap, a little bit of mesh. Just going to cut a wee square. Right, now I am using silicone, which is fantastic. This nice little handy little squeezy thing for it, which is great. Usually you can get the big ones. This is a nice miniature one, easy to use, and this is the silicone that I'm using. That one there. So it's good just from Bunnings. Right, so let's get ready. Right, so we're going to just squeeze probably about a small circle of glue just to get us started. So it's a bit like just piping it on. So that's roughly how wide I want my flower to be. Right. And then it's just a matter of laying your petals down. So we'll just sort of spread it around a wee bit. Right. I've got some of them sitting up as well, and you can push some down. one's going to overlap. Do this a little bit closer. Right, so just make sure that's all in place. Right, I'm going to put a little bit more glue on in the centre. Just put something back in there just to keep that from screwing out. It's lovely. Alright, now we're just going to arrange our pinky ones. So you're sort of pushing it into the silicone. You can sort of move them around as well. So the idea is you want to kind of cover up that silicone. You don't want it all showing. It doesn't dry super fast. You do have a little bit of movement time. Right, so I just put those other flowers in there, and I've got a little bit of silicone, more silicone in here. I'm going to use these little tiny little beads. You could use little shards of glass, and I'm just going to pop them in there. So silicone will dry clear, so it won't show up so much, but you can put as many of these. I'm going to put maybe 4 in. And that's our first little flower. Yeah, so I'll let that dry. So definitely don't fiddle around with it and leave it for at least 24 hours. Okay, right, we'll move on to the next one. Let's do our next one. So this is with our little glass hearts and our little glass leaves. So same thing again, get the old silicone going. And just squeeze. This is my exercise for the day. Right. I'm just going to pat that down a little bit. Right. I've just got this on like a plastic lid, but go back to the Glad wrap or the cling film, whatever you want to use. So same thing again, just some little hearts. Just put them quite close together. So they're kind of just floating in that silicone. I've got them pushed down a little bit. Some I've got sitting up higher, so it just gives it a little 3D dimensional look. Right, it's just a matter of now filling the center with lots of little beads. So I'm just gonna, they're actually quite cute. I'm just gonna put these all the way around. Just hiding all that silicone that's there. So it's just a matter of filling in your little spaces with your beads. Just keep one more in there. Right, and that's that one there. So we'll let him dry and we'll get on to this one here, the same practice. So a little bit of mesh. I might make this a little bit smaller. Just enough. It's quite moldable, the silicone, so you can sort of push them up. Right, and then we'll do this little pretty one here. I think it's very cute. So same thing again, just push them in. I might chuck a red one in there. It's cute. So you can really use, I mean, you might even be able to find beads in a second-hand shop you can use and pull apart. Just get one more in here. So this is kind of like a nice little, a little rose. Look. yeah, so that's how we do them. Same thing with these ones here. Also, just have to cut them off the mesh when you finish. But the same thing applies with this one here. I've just got the longer leaves on here. So what I'm thinking, what am I going to do with them? Wow, I don't know. But I'm thinking I have got an old picture frame from a second-hand shop that I've been hanging on for so long. I think it was about $2. I'm going to take the glass out. I'm going to put a thicker bit of wood in the back. Oh, it's $8. And I'm going to build myself a little garden of flowers.